Well, folks, it's not the best start to the week for the market and for SoFi stock, as we're down about 3.5%, and we saw a nice pop in the morning to about $18 a share, but now we're trading at $17.20. We gave back all those gains, and we're down 61 cents again, down almost 3.5%, as the entire market is all over the place, guys. The Qs are down, the S&P's down, but the Dow's up, the Russell's up, Bitcoin's up, VIX is up, so everything's all over. We have a lot to cover, so hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, do all that stuff, guys. Join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my trades, investments, be a part of my portfolio updates, and my private Discord. All that's on Patreon. Link down below, pinned in the comments. You guys know where to find it. Or go to stasurfest.com/Patreon. And now, cheers, take a sip of your coffee. You're going to need it for this video, and let's dive into it. So we're down 3.4% on SoFi right now, trading at $17.30. And again, this is after we saw a pretty nice pop in the morning to about 18.05 actually. We almost hit 18.10, and since that point, we've been down. And oh boy, we've been down. Look, we had a couple of nasty red candles here on the 5-day, 5-minute. And again, we've been down since. And essentially, guys, we're still trading under these moving averages on the 30-minute and on the 5-day, 5-minute, which we have been under these moving averages now for a couple of days. Well, I guess this is the third day. We kind of dumped aggressively on, what was that, Wednesday? We hit 1870 on Wednesday. It looked pretty good during that day, during that session, but then we dumped aggressively into close, and we did the same thing on Thursday. We saw a pretty big sell-off at open, and now we're taking out the lows from Thursday and from Wednesday with this down move. And like I said, we're still under the moving averages on this 5-day, 5-minute, on the 30-minute chart. And if you guys take a look on this 5-day, 5-minute, let me get my handy dandy channel tool out. We're trading in this little mini downtrending channel over the last 2-3 days of trading. We hit the top of it today, this morning, right? You guys see that? And now we're more towards the bottom of that channel. And if this plays out like it has been, right, SoFi might be due for a little bit of a relief rally, but I'm not seeing any signs of that forming quite yet, at least today. Maybe tomorrow we do get that pop, but as of right now, we're trading more towards the bottom of this channel. We're due for a pop, in my opinion, but we're not quite yet getting the confirmation. And if you pull the layers back a little bit, we are still above the 180 moving average on this 1-hour chart. That's promising for the bulls, right? You're noticing we're holding a higher low right here. We're maintaining support as of right now above the resistance from earlier in June. We hit about 17.20. We struggled to get out of there earlier in June. Then we obviously broke out of it. Now we're pulling back, holding that as support. This is a good sign. But if the bulls fail to hold $17, the reality is, man, it's going to get ugly again for SoFi, right? That's the sad reality. If we fail at 17, we start breaking through these moving averages on the 4-hour chart, yeah, things are going to get ugly again, even though as of now, we're looking okay still. All it takes is 17 to break, and we're pretty much right there. Now the stock's down, now the stock's down 3.75%, almost 4% down, so it's continuing to bleed as I'm making this video. And the reality is, guys, SoFi has been flat for months. We get these little periods where it seems like it's breaking out, but it ends up being a pump fake. And it looks like the rally we had over the last couple of days is also a pump fake for now. You know, we got a pump fake back in the end of May. We tried breaking 1920. We failed. We had another pump fake back in the middle of April. We tried breaking 20. We failed, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again here with SoFi. You know, we had the cup and handle formation. That tried to play out. it failed for now. The inverse head and shoulders is still there, but none of these are really playing out. So for me, I'm on the sidelines now on SoFi. I mean, look, I'm in my long-term position. You guys know that. I've been in SoFi for a couple years now in the single digits, but for a trade, I've been eyeing up a trade for a while. It's just not looking great. Each time it tries to break out, it's a pump fake, and that's a problem. So I'm going to set my alert at 19, or actually no, forget 19. Let's do one at $17.50 for now. We'll do one alert there, and we'll do another one, let's say at let's do $18. So if we're able to start breaking through $17.50, $18, okay, maybe we're gearing up for a move back to 20. But look, we got to be patient. And the ultimate breakout will be above $20, but again, each time it gets close, the bulls crap their pants and the stock sells off. It is what it is, right? So that's a quick rundown here on SoFi. And again, this is happening in the midst of a pretty volatile day for the market. Not too crazy, but the VIX is creeping up 3.5%. We have the S&P down 0.3%. The Qs are down 0.75%. We have the Russell up about 0.6 on the flip side, and the Dow's up around 0.3, 0.4%. Not too bad. And it's just one of those days. Oil's down 3%. WTI is 3% in the red. Brent is down 2.7. It's just one of those days, man. And there are stocks I'm eyeing up here to buy. A lot of them are in the mega cap sphere, whatever you want to call them, the big tech stocks. I think Tesla's eyeing up. I'm eyeing it up for a trade. I think it looks pretty good here. Well, I'm already in Tesla, but I think we're about to be going higher here in the short term. You guys can see we're still in a wedge that we have been talking about on these videos, but we got a big pop here, exactly where we wanted to see it, right at the bottom of the wedge. We got a lot of buyers to come in this morning at about 390, 395, 400. Now we're at 407. We're not fully breaking out yet, but something tells me we're about to, right? I think we're about to take out this wedge, start going mid 400s again. And look, I already have a decent sized position in Tesla, but I am not opposed to adding more. And that's actually what I'm looking to do, whether it's later today, at some point tomorrow, midweek this week. I'm looking to add more Tesla. So I like the way that's shaping up. We talked about the big tech stocks earlier. Amazon, Google, a lot of these, Meta, are seeing selling pressure because of, the AI build out. They're raising money to fund that AI build out, right? Which is putting pressure on their shares in the short term. But I think it's going to be a glorious buying opportunity, especially Amazon, over the coming months, years. I think we'll look back at it as a great buying opportunity. But I'm heavily in Amazon already, so I'm looking to wait a little bit, see if it gets down to 220, 225. I think there's a chance this gap does fill to the downside, and I'm looking to take advantage of that on Amazon, buy some more, and actually get into some leaps as well. What do you guys think about that? Let's see what else is moving today, guys. Intel is breaking out, which, look, it's been breaking out, but we're gapping above 135 today, which is a very good sign, 132 to 135. Which you guys know has been a multi-week resistance on Intel. We can see that, that's been a struggle point for the stock from last week, from a couple weeks ago in the early days, mid days, or the middle of May. We hit about 132. Today we got a big gap up. We saw the drawdown earlier today. We talked about it in Patreon and the Discord. We hit 136, and now buyers are coming in. I think this could continue the breakout, even though it's arguably insanely overvalued, overbought. Look, man, Intel, they're doing a lot with Apple. The U.S. government's involved. Trump, I think Intel could have some more juice. There could be some more juice left to squeeze here in this trade. Do your own research, though, guys. As always, stocks like Coherent today, man. Oh, my goodness. Coherent's completely breaking out again. 7% in the green. $417 per share. And look, this inverse head and shoulders is intact. It looks like Coherent could actually be going even higher. We have the left shoulder of the head, the right shoulder right here. To me, guys, look, if Coherent takes out 420, this is going to run to the mid 400s again. Mark it, stamp it, book it. It looks like that's what is potentially going to happen here. But of course, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys have to trade at your own risks. So those are a couple of stocks I'm watching. Quick thoughts on SoFi. I think I need to do a video on Netflix, man, because Netflix stock keeps on getting demolished, down another 6%. And I'm not surprised. Look, I used to own the stock. I had shares, I had calls, made a ton of money. I sold out of it at the right time. I'm pretty sure when the stock was at $95 to $100 a share. Now we're back to the 70s, and it's actually taking out the lows from back in the end of February, which, not to toot my own horn, but did we not call that out on Netflix? Did we not talk about the descending triangle on the 1-year chart? That's playing out, and I think we could be going into the high 60s, and man, that is where it gets very attractive. Very attractive. I was buying the stock at $80, I made a lot of money on the shares and the calls, took my quick profits. So if I was buying in the 80s, why wouldn't I buy here in the low 70s? And I'm waiting for it to go lower. Why wouldn't I buy in the 60s? It's almost a no-brainer, a no-brainer buy. They're a cash flow machine, profitable, they're growing, and they didn't get the WBD deal, which I think is good, and the stock's almost being punished for it, which doesn't make sense. They would have been overpaying for WBD. They would have been in a years-long battle with regulators, this, that, and the stock's going down because they didn't get the deal, right? It just doesn't make sense. I would have thought the stock would be $100 plus by now, but it's at 72. So that, I guess, divergence here is attractive. That disconnect between the fair value and where we're at in the stock, which I think is undervalued now, it's just too wide, the disconnect. So I'm close to buying back in, and again, especially if it gets into the high 60s, mid 60s, I'm gonna buy some shares. I don't know about you guys, but that is what I'm looking to do. But I'm being patient because the chart is pointing to more downside, and honestly, the chart does not look good. That's the reality. So I'm being patient. No, it doesn't hurt to be patient. And here on the monthly chart, we're now approaching the 50 moving average, which you guys can see on Netflix, we're still uptrending, right? But it could have a little bit more downside to go, again, before real buyers start to come in. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, my trades, investments. If you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's on Patreon. And guys, shout out to everybody that's been joining, all the new members. We've had a crazy influx of members. Cheers to all you guys out there. Hope you're finding a bunch of value in the Patreon. We're putting a lot of work in the Discord, posting all the updates, the trade updates, and check it out if you want to join. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. And now, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.